On today's show, how did this ragtag team of misfits manage to go from this
Why is this side so much higher than the other?
to this?
Triple set there, clocking in at 24 miles per hour.
And did they make it down the course in one piece? Find out now on Build That Soapbox. Is that it? That's it. I guess I'll take this stuff off. How am I supposed to get this off? Why can't I get this off? Welcome back, crew. It's hard to believe that we're already past race day. Anyway, what's with the bee suit and how'd the race go? We left last video with a totally unfinished, super heavy cart and tons to do. So I was thinking that probably means that we could do a little build montage and get caught up. First, we rebuilt the entire back end of the cart for weight because it was super, super heavy. And then we kind of put together a really crappy prototype frame just to kind of get an idea of how we wanted to shape the cart. Then we had our first test drive, and despite a little bit shoddy workmanship,
Expert engineering.
it actually drove pretty well.
Look at that thing. Look at her fly. Like a freaking glove, dude. That's making it down the course, baby.
That is making it.
Then we rebuilt more of a refined frame because we had a better idea of what we were doing, hit it with a crisp coat of gold leaf, and then took test drive number 2 after we fixed the brakes, which actually had totally broken. And lastly, a little bit of extra decorating and loading it onto the trailer for race day, baby. So yeah, man, I think the cart turned out great. It ended up being a lot more work than I think any of us anticipated. So huge credit to the rest of the team who did tons and tons of work on it. It was a little bit farther away from my house, so it was kind of difficult for me to get up there and work on it all the time. So yeah, and the day before the race and race day, I ended up taking the car down there the day before and lining it up in our spot in pit row and just got it all set up. Then we got to preview the whole course. We walked it from bottom to top and saw the rumble strips and the jumps, starting ramp and everything like that. And it was looking steep. It was a pretty gnarly course and it was just looking crazy, man. I was really excited. So then race day, we get there bright and early and we effectively kind of had to rebuild a bunch of our cart. Like sitting out there in the sun just melted a bunch of like the duct tape and the glue that we had holding it together and everything. And we had forgotten to cover it. And so there were sprinklers going on it all morning. But anyway, after we finished building cart 2.0 at that point, it was time for the race to start, and it was like an awesome production. The Red Bull Soapbox Derby is no joke. It's super, super cool. They had like skydivers coming in as the announcers to kind of start the show and everything. The whole pit row was just open, so you could go explore the cars and walk up and down, and there was some amazing, amazing cars there. Saw Dr. Seuss cars, a giant fish car, like a Krabby Patty, Calvin and Hobbes wagon that I was like super psyched to see, Uncle Rico's van from Napoleon Dynamite. And with pit row open, there was just tons and tons of people walking up and down, checking out all the cars, getting their spot on the track for the race.
All right, man. Race day. All numbered up. We got the smoker going.
Grilling meats, good smoky flavor. Smoke a brisket for like 12 hours. You smoke lemon chicken, smoke salmon, you'll love it.
It's a sick vibe out here, man.
I think they said there was something like 50,000 people in attendance that day, and it showed, man. There was just hordes of people just packed in. The vibes were good, and it was just sick. And then around the middle of the day, they started the race. We were about 41st in line, I think. And so you take 41 teams, they go up there, they get interviewed, they do a little skit for 30 or 40 seconds, and then they do their run and any cleanup or anything like that. So that 41 times, we had a couple hours to sit and wait in full beekeeper suits, 100 degrees out and everything. So it was a lot, but it was really cool. It was just kind of like a cool party. But there were some awesome runs and like epic wipeouts and stuff. So here's a few of those.
Oh, they're cooking, Tina.
Yeah, I'd say this is the fastest crowd that we've seen so far.
Then it was the fateful moment. We were up, and it was actually pretty nerve-wracking, man. Just you're at the top of the start ramp, and there was just hordes of people down there just watching, psyched to have you go down. And so we had Josh driving and Maria as co-pilot energy, and it was just cool. Just got all psyched up to go down. I will say getting footage of our run was a lot more difficult than I expected, so we'll kind of roll with what we got, and it was just a good time anyway. So we finished our skit, and it's time for the big push and everything. And we start pushing, and Tanner just like falls down the ramp as, as we're like pushing it down. Hopefully they got a good starter energy to like get going and everything like that. And then the first thing they hit is the rumble strips. And that was awesome because you just start seeing these like honeycombs go flying everywhere. And so we started getting some of the drama, like we weren't crashing, but there was still something interesting about our run. Josh was awesome. He was like all committed and said, I will not touch the brake. I am not slowing down. We're full sending this thing from top to bottom. So especially once they got to those like triple stack jumps, they were cruising and it just boom, 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 and honeycomb flying everywhere. And that was awesome. But they were still intact and cruising down the hill and everything like that, which is great. But they're cruising, they go off the big kicker and just crunch. They land so hard, they're still going, but we had this like relatively thin piece of wood going across the middle of the cart that we drilled the seats into. And come to find out, when they landed off of that big kicker, it just like snapped that board in half. And then Maria's just like hanging on to not get like dragged down, you know, in the bottom. And so they're like, you know, doing crunches and stuff to make sure that they finish the race and they're not dragging and slowing the cart down. And then they cross the finish line, just like a great balance of like a pretty quick time. I think we were one of the faster times of the day. Definitely not the fastest, but on the upper end of things. And some drama with stuff flying everywhere and the board cracking, and just like a great race driven by Josh and co-piloted by Maria. The judges gave like a score for your skit and the race and everything like that. So we got a great score, and it was just a win all around, man. It was great. So yeah, in all, between like building the cart, the race day and everything like that, it was just this amazing experience. We didn't win any of the prizes or anything like that, but you know, the real prize are the friends you make along the way. Anyway, thank you for following the journey. Thanks to the team for their partnership and for building the cart. And thanks to Beehive Meals for funding a lot of what we did, honestly. Like, it was not cheap to build the cart and all that stuff. So what's next? I don't know, maybe you felt a little chill in the air or seen the days getting shorter. Winter's almost here, man. It means that we're jumping back into the Every Run, Every Resort challenge, where we're skiing all the runs across Utah's 14 resorts. And we've got 4 videos that I filmed last year that are unreleased and are gonna be kind of like the hype building, new season energy, get stoked kind of series. And so those will be releasing between now and when the season starts in kind of November, and just kind of gradually building and getting psyched. So be on the lookout for those as we prepare to shred, bro. I'm personally recovering from some bone bruising in my tibia and fibia. So I gotta find like this perfect balance of chilling and also training. And so yeah, just be on the lookout for those on the channel. Thank you for watching so far. If you're at this point in the video, like, I'm in my garage, man. You're just so cool. Like, this takes a lot of effort to set all this stuff up, so I really appreciate you. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you when the Every Run, Every Resort series comes back soon. See ya.